Happy birthday if it's your birthday, happy belated birthday if it's in the past, happy future birthday if it's in the future. My name is Lime Green, and welcome back to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond by Draw Absolutely Everything. This time, we're going to be journeying through Victory Road and hopefully making a good way through. Last time, we journeyed through Victory Road and hopefully, well, we did make a good way through. We're also going to be greeted by a couple of our fellow podcast hosts here. Black Belt Miles is going to be helping us with our co-commentary. Because we're going to be talking about various movies we have seen and give our opinions on them. There he is, Black Belt Miles. Here's my microphone. There you are. Now I'm a true podcaster. So we're just going to be talking about movies I've seen. I've been recently collecting like movie tickets every time I go to the movies. Not sure why. Maybe I'll put them in a scrapbook or something. So I have 3 movie experiences I have recently. And we'll talk about 3 separate movies, I guess. So the first of which I saw on December 10th at 4:15 p.m. was Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Being a Hunger Games fan, actually reading the books, not this one for some reason. I haven't found the time. But I thought it was pretty good. I heard this book and this movie weren't exactly one-to-one. They changed up a couple things. But, oh, we have another podcast person on the line. Someone who has a lot to say about Hunger Games. Let's see what they have to say. Psychic Veronica. But this was more of like an origin story for President Snow. I thought it was good. Good return to form for, I guess, Hunger Games. We haven't had a Hunger Games movie in a while. Like, right now we're seeing, you know, a bunch of these franchises come back, get sequels or remakes or whatever. And I think you guys know my opinion on that. You know, it's just nice to know your favorite franchise or whatever is still alive and kicking and still thriving. A lot of people seem to feel that if their favorite series gets another installment, it can be worse because it can tarnish their legacy. But I don't really think so. I think as long as People always say, the original things are still out there. You can go back to those whenever you want. But back to actually talking about the Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It was a good movie. Not sure where the actual Hunger Games series would go from here. Like, the legacy is left. Certainly is not going anywhere. Okay, these two people really want to talk about Hunger Games, but I am not letting them. They just want to talk about the shipping aspect. And this floatzel also thinks it has the timeline down for Hunger Games. And I'm like, rethink your timeline, floatzel. It's actually set in the US. The next movie I saw 1 month, well, actually, yeah, 1 month after Hunger Games is Night Swim, January 8th. 4:15. The same time I saw Hunger Games. 4:15 p.m. I guess 4:15 is the time I see movies. So this was the movie about the haunted pool. I'll just take you through the concept. We have someone on the line that has very, very in-depth Night Swim opinions. Vlad Plasmius. And his cape. Alright. So this was all about a pool that is haunted, and this baseball player and his family are... Alright, well, it's an injured baseball player, and he has his family, and... Oh my gosh. I didn't think Meganium could take him down. And he's like, well, I'm injured. Let's get a house with a pool so I can heal. And his family's like, okay. And they get a house with a pool, and, it helps him heal. And then all of a sudden, the pool's like, hey, I healed you. Now how about you give me something? And then they find out, uh-oh, that something is a sacrifice. And he tries to sacrifice like his kid, and then uh-oh, that's no good. And uh-oh, we have another caller on the line. Someone with intense night swim opinions. So he tries to sacrifice his kid, and then he they wake him up out of it, and he's like, uh-oh, that was no good. And then he walks into the pool, and then it sacrifices him instead. And then the last 5 minutes of the movie, they realize, they're like, alright, this pool is evil, so we gotta bury it. So they take this giant construction vehicle, and then they bury it in sand, and then the credits roll. So I'm like, what the heck? Anyone could find this pool. The pool was derived from ancient lakes or whatever, water seeping up out of the ground, hot springs or whatever. I get you're not supposed to, or it would be kind of hard to destroy a pool, but that's the part of the movie I was interested in. How are you gonna beat a pool? Instead, they just bury it for someone else to figure out. I don't know, people online, they did not like this movie. They were not as invested as I was. They did not find the appeal of a haunted pool as cool as I did. It's kind of like the Gravity Falls episode with the pool. I guess? Was that pool haunted? Unsure. Unclear. Alright, Veteran Edgar, we're gonna have to let you go and talk about our next subject, which so happens to be our last subject. Ghostbusters, The Frozen Empire, which I saw March 24th. Not at my usual time, but at 1:30 p.m. And there is actually another person who is calling in. Dragon Tamer Clinton. And I thought they would get no more call-ins. No more people named Colin. But here's my experience with the Ghostbusters. I did not see Ghostbusters. I feel like I keep wanting to say until recently, but it wasn't until recently. I did not see the first one until very late. And then same with Ghostbusters 2. I was like, what is this? And then it was a long time before Ghostbusters. Like, another Ghostbusters. And then I saw 2016 in theaters, and people did not like that one. And I kind of didn't want to see it in theaters, but during that time there was nothing playing in like literally nothing. And I'll say that one was just kind of like a rehash of Ghostbusters 1. And then Afterlife was awesome. That's also kind of like 1, but they had new Ghostbusters and old Ghostbusters. So that's why I put it over, like way over 2016. 2016 also ended on a cliffhanger. Well, I feel like Afterlife could have been like, it could have ended the whole series. Like, you could have stopped making Ghostbusters and ended it on a note like that. But then Frozen Empire game came out, and it was kind of like a, what do you call it? Like two worlds collide. Well, they already collided in Afterlife, but like two worlds collide and then working in tandem. Is there a Pokemon Center? Do I have to go in here? This... I'm scared. Okay, I got scared. Alright, what else do I need to say? There's like a guy that manipulates fire, and then there's a ghost that like burned down her family's house with a lighter, and then it's like, well, how those two, and then how those two come together, and then there's a lab that studies ghosts, and then there's the main character, like a bunch of main characters from Afterlife, and then, and then there's like a lot in this movie, and then there's like the ice ghost, and the old Ghostbusters. People might have a problem with the guy who manipulates fire, but at the same time, it's like based off of like, what do you call it? Like ritualistic folklore in universe. Like, hey, I'm the Fire Master, which Yuko came up with a better name. You know, the Key Master. They already have. Yuko call him like, hey, I'm the Fire. Firekeeper. I'm not sure. Fire Protector. Protector of Fire. I'm not sure. You could have done a billion things, I'm sure. But he's not a Ghostbuster. He's like a subset. I'm not sure. I like the movie, all in all. I like Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I liked Hunger Games. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Night Swim. It was a goofy horror. but not to the goofiness of The Visit, which you should see if you like horror. Those are my those are my reviews. That was Pokemon. Thank you so much. We hope to see you again. Now we're at the Pokemon League. Hope to see you next time when we take on the Pokemon League themselves. Will we be able to do it? I cannot testify to that. Hope to see you next time. Catch you later. Thank you for coming to my podcast. Bye-bye.